Have you ever wondered about the invisible hands that steer the course of history? The secret whispers that topple empires? Today, we're diving deep into the shadowy world of espionage, uncovering the stories of spies whose courage, cunning, and deception literally changed the outcome of wars. These aren't just movie characters. These are real people who lived in the shadows, their names often unknown, but their impact monumental. So, grab your trench coat, and let's step into the clandestine history of spies who shaped our world. Our journey begins in the ancient world, proving that as long as there have been secrets, there have been spies. Take Sun Tzu, the legendary author of The Art of War. He dedicated an entire chapter to the use of spies, categorizing them into different types: local spies, inward spies, converted spies, doomed spies, and surviving spies. He understood that knowledge is power, and the best way to get it is through covert means. For Sun Tzu, winning a war without a single battle was the ultimate victory, and that victory was often secured by intelligence gathered in the shadows. Fast forward to the American Revolution. The fate of the fledgling nation often hung by a thread, and that thread was frequently held by spies. The Culper spy ring, operating under the direction of George Washington himself, was a masterclass in espionage. Based in New York, they used a complex system of secret codes, invisible ink, and dead drops to relay crucial British military plans to the Continental Army. One of their most significant achievements? Uncovering Benedict Arnold's plot to surrender West Point to the British. Had they failed, the British would have gained control of the Hudson River, effectively splitting the colonies in two and likely crushing the rebellion. These ordinary citizens, farmers, merchants, and even a society lady risked everything to become the unsung heroes of American independence. The 19th century saw espionage become more professionalized, especially during the American Civil War. Both the Union and the Confederacy operated extensive spy networks. Women, often underestimated, proved to be some of the most effective agents. Think of Harriet Tubman, already a hero for her work on the Underground Railroad. She was also a brilliant Union spy and scout. Her knowledge of the Southern terrain and her network of contacts among enslaved people allowed her to gather critical intelligence, leading to successful military raids, like the Combahee River Raid, which freed over 750 slaves. On the Confederate side, women like Rose O'Neal Greenhow used their social connections in Washington, D.C. to gather information that gave the South an early advantage at the First Battle of Bull Run. These women shattered stereotypes and demonstrated that the most effective weapon can be a well-placed secret. But it was the 20th century, with its 2 world wars and the ensuing Cold War, that truly became the golden age of espionage. World War I introduced new technologies and new methods. The mysterious Mata Hari, an exotic dancer and courtesan, became the archetype of the femme fatale spy, though her actual impact is still debated by historians. More concretely, British intelligence's success in cracking German naval codes, famously in Room 40, gave the Royal Navy a decisive edge, contributing to victories like the Battle of Jutland. This was a war fought not just in the trenches, but in the quiet rooms where cryptographers battled over enemy secrets. Then came World War II, a global conflict where intelligence was paramount. The story of this war cannot be told without mentioning Bletchley Park, the top-secret home of Britain's codebreakers. Here, brilliant minds like Alan Turing worked tirelessly to crack the supposedly unbreakable German Enigma code. Their success, codenamed Ultra, was perhaps the single most important intelligence breakthrough of the war. It gave the Allies unprecedented insight into German military operations. From U-boat movements in the Atlantic to troop deployments before D-Day, historians estimate that Ultra intelligence shortened the war by at least 2 years, saving millions of lives. It was a silent victory, one with intellect and perseverance hidden from the world for decades. Across the Channel, resistance movements relied heavily on espionage. Virginia Hall, an American working for British and later American intelligence, became one of the Gestapo's most wanted spies. Despite having a prosthetic leg she nicknamed Cuthbert, she organized spy networks, arranged supply drops, and trained French resistance fighters in sabotage. Known as the Limping Lady, she was a master of disguise and evasion, proving that courage and determination are more powerful than any physical limitation. Her work destabilized the German occupation from within, paving the way for the Allied invasion. The end of World War II didn't bring peace, it brought the Cold War, A 50-year standoff between two superpowers. The United States and the Soviet Union fought not on battlefields, but through proxies, propaganda, and, most importantly, spies. This was the era of the CIA and the KGB, of double agents and defectors. The Cambridge Five, a ring of high-ranking British intelligence officers who spied for the Soviets. Past secrets that gave Moscow a huge advantage in the early years of the Cold War, including critical information on the atomic bomb project. Their betrayal sent shockwaves through the Western intelligence community and highlighted the constant threat of infiltration. On the other side, figures like Oleg Gordievsky, a high-ranking Soviet military intelligence officer, became one of the West's most valuable assets. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, the intelligence he provided on the capabilities and placement of Soviet missiles in Cuba was absolutely vital. It allowed President Kennedy to navigate the terrifying standoff with a clear understanding of the risks, helping the world pull back from the brink of nuclear annihilation. Gordievsky paid for his actions with his life, but his legacy is the prevention of a war that would have had no winners. These stories are just the tip of the iceberg. For every spy we know, there are thousands whose names will forever remain in the shadows, their sacrifices unrecorded. From ancient strategists to modern-day cyber analysts, the role of the spy has evolved, but its core purpose remains the same: to gain an advantage through secret knowledge. They operate in a world of moral ambiguity, where trust is a commodity and betrayal is a constant danger. Their work has averted disasters, won wars, and shaped the very borders of the world we live in today. The history of espionage is a powerful reminder that sometimes the quietest actions have the loudest consequences. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the world of spies. If you found this fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden corners of history. Let me know in the comments which historical spy story you find most compelling. Until next time, stay curious.